Houston, Texas, a city that is 250 miles south of Dallas, has been a home of many historic events. The Space City is the home this year of the 31st edition of the Survivor Series. This year, not only will teams of 5 strive to survive in a battle of brand superiority, but for the first time in almost 20 years, 9 men will go to war. Who will survive the War Games? Who will survive the Survivor Series? Join us as you listen to our big Survivor Series preview show this week on That Wrestling Show, and it begins now.
I heard there was this podcast, yo, about something funny like wrestling and you really care about wrestling, don't you? There are drop kicks and leases all over the board, and then something called a wrestling hold. It's a super duper fun podcast about wrestling. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. Well, Fro and Bill and maybe a guest or two is here to hold your hand and guide you through a podcast about wrestling. We have a lot of extreme fun, and that's without a gun, because I needed something to rhyme fun with. That wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show. Well, sit your behinds gently down and listen to our podcast sound and try to guess this week's pro question. You win a lot of cool things and also help Bill with his bills. That's a super duper fun competition. That wrestling show. 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 That wrestling show.
Well, you guys heard the special intro. It is Survivor Series weekend, and that's what we're going to be talking about this week on that wrestling show, along with a lot of other things. Isn't that right, Fro?
That is right, Bill. Welcome everybody to this special pre-Survivor show.
Yep, pre-Survivor Series. This is going to be a big weekend.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to this weekend.
This is going to be a very fun weekend. And, it's like I said in another group earlier this week. How funny. 2 weeks ago, we were not looking forward one bit to this Survivor Series.
Well, to be honest with you, we are going to talk about this a little later, but I'm not sure if I'm looking tremendously forward to the Survivor Series still.
All right.
To be honest with you, there's absolutely no matches that are really important, but we'll talk about it a little later, I guess.
Yeah, we will. We're also going to do our drawings for the big prizes, and there are only 2 prizes this time around, not the 4 or 5 or 6 that we had last time. This time it's only 2, and we're going to talk some news as well. But before we do that, and I'm glad because we are recording this live on my Facebook account, which is Bill Yankovi. You guys can find me there. Do want to plug real quick for Lauren Zirconium this Saturday night. Dog and IWA Vintage, they're going to have live pro wrestling at the Elms in New Jersey. That is this Saturday night. So check that out. That's going to be their last show of this calendar year. And then they're going to go into 2018. So, and speaking of 2018, Fro, because you happen to know this because you're on the boards a lot or in our message group, we do a little award show at the beginning of every year.
We do.
Called That Wrestling Award Show. And I'm going to let everyone know that 2 weeks from tomorrow, December the 1st, is when all the one day at a time, or I'm going to try to get as many categories as I can in. The categories will be put up for you, the fans, the listeners, the friends, whatever you want to do, to nominate whatever it is you want to nominate in the certain categories. And there's actually going to be a new category this year. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is right now, but when it happens, you guys are going to find out.
Nice.
I want to start the news this week with differently because we don't really talk about that much on this particular show, unlike other shows, about business, the financial business of wrestling.
No, we don't.
Because that's
thank God.
Yeah, because that's really not our forte. We would need
I'm not sure if I care.
we would need a financial advisor to be on during the quarters that WWE does every year and all that. So, New Japan recently, they announced their fiscal year from August 2016 to July 2017. They made, if you converted yen to the American dollar, in that fiscal year, they made over $34 million. And it is the second biggest financial year in the history of the company. The biggest year happened to be 1997, so exactly 20 years to on
the nose.
On the nose, and also the number of employees went up from 45 to 64, I believe, was the exact number. So,
wow, that's a huge increase.
Yeah, so So if anybody thinks New Japan's going to be slowing down anytime soon, I don't think so.
No, well, here's the thing with New Japan. I'm going to sound a little like I know absolutely nothing about New Japan because I actually know nothing about New Japan.
Right.
But there's a group out there that likes wrestling for just wrestling moves, and for them, New Japan is heaven.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I mean, we have 5-star matches.
6-star matches.
Yeah, 6-star matches. Like, match of the year is probably going to be a New Japan.
Oh, God, yeah.
Match. It's not, personally, it's not for me, but like, I like the soap drama shit that is WWE. I need my soap opera.
Well, I mean, we discussed last week how we were both looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh yeah, Wrestle Kingdom is a huge,
and how that show's going to be absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a crazy show, but still, I'm not looking forward to that as much as, for example, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania already.
Right, because it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Just on the name alone.
Or Royal Rumble. That's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year.
Oh, I'd have Royal Rumble at the top of my list, honestly.
Yeah, I think Royal Rumble is absolutely on the highest, if not bragging rights, of course. No, just joking.
I think when we get to the...
Yes.
I missed the joke completely, but...
I said, if it's not bragging rights.
Right.
I said,
yeah. I think when we get to the Royal Rumble in January, I'm going to ask an interesting question, not only for you, but to everyone who listens to this and is in our Facebook group. Because I think there's a little debate between the Royal Rumble and SummerSlam over what's the number 2 pay-per-view for WWE. Because to me...
no, it's definitely Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because to me, I think it's the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they do hype SummerSlam a lot as, it's the biggest... It's the biggest party of the summer.
They have a 6-hour pre-show for SummerSlam as they did for WrestleMania. But it doesn't make it as big as WrestleMania anyway.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So
and there's also like things in WrestleMania also shows us what what they have been thinking for a year.
Yeah.
Because more or less they build up to storylines to end at WrestleMania or to begin at WrestleMania even. It's also showing us what we are going to get in the future. So WrestleMania is kind of the start and the end point of the year.
Pretty much.
Of a wrestling year.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you. Because, like, and I was trying to, because like how we always say, WrestleMania is our Christmas. And for a while I was trying to figure out, okay, what's our Halloween? What's our Thanksgiving? I think I could figure it out. I think Wrestle Kingdom is our Halloween because we get tricks and treats.
Yeah.
And you never know what you're going to get. The Royal Rumble is Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Because like Thanksgiving coming up next week here in the U.S., you got all this stuff and you could just pick any one and you'd be fine with it. That's what the Royal Rumble is. And then in between is and no disrespect to the other religions, your Hanukkahs, your Kwanzas, your Ramadans, and then WrestleMania is Christmas. And the Raw after is New Year's Day. So so if you wanted to do I
mean, the Raw after WrestleMania is always super exciting.
Or could we call that Boxing Day for our British listeners?
Maybe Boxing Day, yeah.
All right. Just putting it out there. I didn't want to leave our British...
When I was a kid, this is actually not a joke. I have a story about Boxing Day. I thought actually Boxing Day was a day that people were boxing on.
You know, I don't think you're alone in that.
Before I learned what it really was. I thought it was people boxing on that day, like literally boxing with each other.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone on that one. I really don't.
I shouldn't tell my British girlfriend about that.
Oh boy, yeah, she'll get you
like,
good.
Oh, did you really think that was just boxing? She's going to think I'm stupid.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah. In somewhat wrestling related news,
Mm-hmm.
Jack Swagger has announced that he is going to start an MMA career.
Mm-hmm.
However, unlike CM Punk, who went to UFC, Swagger is going to the number 2 MMA promotion in the sport, which is Bellator. He has signed a multi-fight, multi-year deal, and he's going by his real name, Jake Hager.
Oh.
So he will debut at some point in 2018, and he's going to compete as a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
So I know neither one of us are MMA experts, but I have my hopes for him, actually, because he has the one thing that CM Punk does not have, and that is an amateur wrestling background. He was an All-American at Oklahoma when he was in college. He has the catch as catch can style. I think he could end up being pretty good at MMA.
Yeah. He needs to buff up, that's for sure.
Well, he's about 280, so he's not... I don't know. I think he's in good shape. I think he's going to do fine. I'm not saying he's going to go right away and be their heavyweight champion, but...
No. But how high is he?
Weight-wise or class?
Class.
Heavyweight.
Heavyweight?
Yeah.
Jack Swagger?
Yeah.
Really? It's heavyweight? How tall is he?
Oh, where are his stats? That's a good question. Let me look on Wikipedia real quick.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, no, but I'm glad that he isn't going the CM Pink.
CM Pink.
Yeah, that's a new wrestler. CM Punk route, because that would fucking annoy me. Because CM Punk.
I know.
But you have heard a big rumor for who's coming back on Sunday, right?
No, I haven't.
Who's coming to take the last place in the women's?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Have you heard that is Paige?
I have heard that. And well, actually, real quick, and then we'll get to Paige. Swagger is 6'5", 275 pounds.
Wow, that's big.
He's perfect for the heavyweight division.
Yeah, he's perfect for the heavyweight division.
Well, to go back to Paige.
Paige, yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. Because there had been rumors during the weekend and even the day of Raw that she was going
to be there.
Yeah, she was going to be in that triple threat match, which was going to be made into a 4-way, and she was going to end up winning the last spot on the team.
Right.
But
now she's going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I would think, because now with what happened Tuesday, and congratulations are in order to Charlotte for winning the SmackDown Women's title.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't have any complaints whatsoever. And just the fact that Rick was there and he came out in public for
such a good thing to do
for the first time in months.
Yeah.
One of the highlights of the year for wrestling. One of the true highlights of this year, in my opinion. I wish I had seen it live. I wish I had. Oh my goodness, but yeah, we're going to talk about the Survivor Series a little bit later on because there's a lot of changes to that card. And speaking of changes, have you read my new article that I wrote on the website, Fro?
I did.
How did you think?
It was informative.
Yes. Believe it or not, I did my once or twice a year article on our website, and I wrote about, for those who are curious, I'm not going to spoil it, but I wrote about how change is as much of a tradition to the Survivor Series as, say, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
It's...
I think they are kind of fucking around with the Survivor Series at this point, but and trying to make it like, it was kind of funny because we were talking about it on another digital citizen, and Luke said to me, "Well, will I see you on Saturday?" And I was like, "Saturday? Why would you see me on Saturday?" And he's like, "Yeah, aren't we going to watch NXT together?"
No.
And I was like, "Oh, that's right. There's an NXT before Survivor Series." Yeah, and Luke says, "Yeah, because Survivor Series is suddenly really big." And I was like, "Yeah,
sure is." So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Speaking of watching stuff, big news for Lucha Underground. They have been confirmed for a 4th season, and that was big because there had been rumors that this is going to be the end. You know, there's going to be no more Lucha Underground, but
I'm happy to see them survive. I'm going to be honest that I haven't watched the 4th season at all, or the 3rd season at all. I mean, too much wrestling going on. But I know it's good. I know it's there to be watched if I want to.
I'm going to say this, and I'm actually disappointed in my cable provider. It rhymes with Horizon. Because we had the El Rey network for a while.
Right.
We had not subscribed to it yet. And I was contemplating getting it just for Lucha Underground. Well, you remember, the bad storms that we had in October, Puerto Rico, Mexico, all that. Well, because Univision, which is helping the El Rey network, because they wanted more money from my cable provider. The cable provider's like, "Nah, we're not going to bump up the prices to our customers, so we're just going to let you guys go." So I can't watch the El Rey network. I can't watch Lucha Underground now, so. But I can live with it. I mean, I'm not like other people who watch it on a religious basis and are like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?"
But they have a lot of good wrestlers.
They do.
I mean, they have Rey Mysterio, they have Pentagon Jr., one of my favorite wrestlers. Phoenix is really good. Drago. Oh my God, I miss Drago.
And you got Penta El M0, the current champ there.
Son of Havoc. So funny.
So.
Kill shot.
Yeah, I mean the talent there. I think what Lucha has done. Excuse me a minute. Bye, Jacob. Sorry, I had to say goodbye to Jacob. He was here earlier. He helped with our drawing when we get to it in a moment, so I'll explain how he helped. But no, what Lucha has done, Lucha Underground, is they have been able to give wrestlers like a Phoenix, like a Penta LM0, chances to compete in the U.S. And they've become huge stars. I mean, they were
the... You remember the first storyline with Martin the Muff? How fucking funny that was.
Oh, yeah, and then he became a serious... He's
trying to get into this company, and then he became the serious character.
Mm-hmm. He actually is one of our followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
One of our 100, I think, 65 followers.
But yeah, check out Lucha Underground. I think it's on Netflix.
It is. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix. So
2 first seasons on Netflix. Check it out.
Yeah, I have it, so I will
I've seen season 1 and 2. Yeah. I will not say that I've seen season 3 because that's a lie, but they have some good ones. So, yeah.
All right. But yeah, I'm glad to see Lucha back for a 4th season. I think here in the U.S. right now, it needs another promotion because you got WWE, Impact Wrestling. We never know on a week-to-week basis how it is. Ring of Honor. Well, it's true. It's true, though. Ring of Honor, it is for the diehards like me, but if the deal goes through with Tribune, they could be on a big network coming up in 2018. And then you have Lucha Underground. I mean, it's not a number 3 or a number 2, but it's there and it's made stars out of people. So
definitely.
Can't complain about that. For those of you who live in Atlanta, this next story you might want to pay very close attention to because in 2018, early in 2018, NXT will be doing TV tapings at the world-famous Center Stage where WCW Saturday Night used to be taped. And the dates have already been announced. They are January the 4th, so if you wake up early like us to watch Wrestle Kingdom, go take a nap that afternoon to get ready for NXT that night. And then they're going to do 2 in February the 1st and February the 2nd of 2018. And the reason it's big, I know you probably don't understand why it's big, but the reason it's big is because when WCW was around, that was where Saturday Night was shot for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I mean, we didn't know as kids what it was unless you lived in Atlanta. But that was where like Sting was there and Austin and Rude and Flair and Vader, all those guys competed there. So it's a big deal. But
absolutely,
it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. So, as far as what's going to happen with Full Sail, I don't have any word on that whatsoever. So, they're probably not leaving Full Sail altogether. They're just trying to, do stuff, make things different.
Absolutely.
Speaking of making things different, are you ready to give a prize away, Fro?
Oh, I am ready to give a prize away.
Now, before we do this, we had a little bit of controversy on our last question, which honestly I did not catch, but Fro did. The question last week, if you remember, was who was on the poster, the promotional poster for the Bash?
Yes.
Originally, the answer was Batista, which is right. So we gave that person, Justin, who got the answer right, an entry.
Yes.
Another member of ours who had put in his reply first had also said Jeff Hardy.
Yes.
Now, Fro had done some research, and after much consideration, and what I mean by much consideration, I mean I just agree with you guys. Jeff Hardy would have also been an answer, so Chris also got an entry into our drawing.
Yes.
So we have altogether a total of 9 entries from, I think it's like 5 different people, 5 or 6 altogether.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do my prize first because I think yours is bigger. You got the big prize for this one.
I got the big prize.
You got the big prize. So,
big prize. Yes.
So how Jacob helped was before I got onto Facebook and called Fro, he shook our jar for the drawing. All the names have been put in. Jacob gave it a good shake of the tub of the jar, and I have no idea who I'm going to pull out. So,
nice.
So my prize that someone is going to be getting in a minute is going to be once again from Pro Wrestling Loot.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is a special box from Pro Wrestling Loot because this is going to be a holiday loot box. And let me tell you what is special about this one. It has up to 10 items. Up to 10 items in this box. And it contains masks, DVDs, autographs, stickers, pens, toys, whatever. So you guys, and all of that together would maybe cost you like a good 50, 60, 70 bucks. I'm paying this for whoever wins this. And the price is not that bad, actually. So somebody's going to get a good early gift this holiday season. So, I have opened the jar. I'm going to pull out a name. Alright, I have the said name. And the winner of the Pro Wrestling Loot Holiday Box is Joe Sago.
Yay!
So Joe is going to be getting a box in the mail. So I hope he enjoys that. And a little later on, we will do the big drawing for this particular episode.
Are we ready for some trivia?
Yes.
We are ready for some WWE trivia?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yes. So we are going to go for Bound for Glory.
Yeah, because that's WWE.
2007. Are you ready?
Okay, I am ready.
Okay. We begin with it being in Donla, Georgia.
Okay.
And there was an attendance of 4,000. I am not sure if I believe that. I'm not sure if that's true. Even in 2017. No, 7.
Oh, 2007. Okay.
Yeah, Bound for Glory 2007. It's maybe it's true. We start with a tag team Ultimate X match to determine the number 1 contender to the TNA World Tag Team Championship, because that doesn't sound convoluted at all.
Right.
And it's Triple X, Senshai, and Elix against the Latin American Exchange from the side, and Hernandez.
Okay. Oh, that's it. Those are the teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say LAX.
Yes, that is.
All right.
Then it's Fight for the Right. Reverse Battle Royal.
Oh, God. No. Oh, that match.
That is such a good match. And it was Robert Root, James Storm, Biggie James, Kip James, Eric Young, Lance Hoyt, Jimmy Rave, Chris Harris, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Cass, Pete Williams Jr., Fatu, Havoc, Shark Boy, and Sanjay Dutt.
The sad thing is, Fro, I actually have seen that match.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad
Me
part.
too. I remember this match. It's a horrendous match.
Man. What a nightmare of a match.
Yep.
But the winner of that match was Eric Young.
It was Eric Young. Then we have the tag team match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. And it's AJ Styles and Tomoko against Team Pac-Man, Ron Killings.
Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, this is so infamous.
Yep.
Can I tell the people who don't know why this is so infamous?
Yes, you can.
Okay. In 2007, Adam Pac-Man Jones was indefinitely suspended by the National Football League.
Yep.
So he ends up going into wrestling for a little bit. NFL's like, okay, go right ahead. Oh, by the way, you can't have any physical contact with anybody, by the way. So he and Ron Killings, the previous pay-per-view, win the tag team titles with...
How do you win a tag team championship without one of them fucking wrestling?
Hey, Jones got the pin in that match. That's the sad part.
I know.
So, the next pay-per-view, this one, Jones comes back and he starts making it rain.
Yep.
Which ended up winning the Wrestling Observer newsletter for the worst promotional tactic of the year, which...
It was so fucking atrocious.
Which, honestly, do you have a problem? I don't have a problem with that one getting the award, but...
No.
Yeah. AJ's team won that match.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wonder why. I picked a good one for Glory this time.
You really did.
It's a good one, yeah. Then we have a singles match for the TNA X Division, and it's Christopher Daniels against Jay Lethal. Sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah, this was actually the match of the night for me.
Okay.
This was a good match. I mean, Christopher Daniels, has he ever had a bad match?
You mean in a one-on-one situation?
Yeah.
I can't think of many.
Christopher Daniels is really underrated, if you ask me.
I'm gonna say Daniels won that match?
No, he didn't.
Ooh.
It was Jay Little.
All right.
Then it's a 2 out of 3 false tables match.
Oh, no.
And it's Team 3D, Brother Ray and Brother Devon against the Steiner brothers, Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner.
Oh, God. Well, that was a classic.
Yeah. That sounds like a fantastic match.
Oh, my God.
I don't remember it, so...
It had to be Team 3D. Had to be.
It had not to be. The
what?
Steiners won.
The Steiners won that match? Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How?
But listen to this. Now we come to something that is really interesting because it's a gauntlet for the gold match.
Okay.
Crown the first TNA Women's Knockout Championship.
Oh, okay. Well, this makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And it's Roxy
Roxy Laveau.
Roxy Laveau, yeah. Against Gail Kim.
Oh, that's who it ended up being the last two.
No, there's those two.
Oh, yeah. But you said it was a gauntlet for the gold.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Oh, well, I think it was Gail Kim who won that match.
It was Gail Kim that won that
All
match.
right.
Is it going to be funny when she's going to be the last TNA championship champion?
Oh.
Anyway. Oh. Then we have a singles match with Matt Morgan as the special ringside enforcer, and it was Christian Cage against Samoa Joe. Never heard of anybody of them.
Well, actually, we should start calling Matt Morgan Commissioner Morgan. So.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Ooh,
Christian Cage and Samoa Joe.
Never heard of any of them.
Oh,
man. Remember when Christian was in TNA?
I do. I'm going to say Joe won that match.
He did.
Then
we have a Monsters Ball match, and it's Black Rain.
Oh, no.
Remember Black Rain?
I do.
Yep. Against Raven, Rhino, and Abyss.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It had to be Abyss.
Yeah.
It's
always Abyss. The answer is always Abyss.
What's 2 plus 2? Abyss.
What's 2 plus 2? Abyss.
Who was the 18th president of the United States? Abyss.
Abyss.
Who's the prime minister?
Who's
the prime minister of Norway? Abyss.
Abyss. Then we have a singles match for the TNA World Tag Heavyweight Championship, and it's the longest match by 18 minutes and 20 seconds, and it's Kurt Angle against Sting.
Oh, well, Sting is Mr. Bound for Glory, so it has to be Sting.
It is Sting.
All right. I got a couple wrong. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That show's not as good as other Bound for Glories, so.
Oh, no, this is true. I remember this Bound for Glory as one of the worst Bound for Glories. Not one of the worst, but yeah.
Right.
This year's was the worst. But we talked about that last week. So.
Yeah, we did. We do not
make me angry again.
We don't ever have to touch on that show ever again. Never. Speaking of Impact Wrestling, this involves someone who currently works for that promotion. And it is Conan. Because he is going to be the head writer for a new wrestling promotion called Aro Lucha.
Have they just put ROH and Lucha Underground together and made a new promotion?
Well, you would think, but it's spelled ARO Lucha.
Oh, ARO.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is being launched. Are you ready for this? By former TNA production company and minority owner Aurolux.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Mike Johnson for PW Insider has more details on this.
Aww.
The promotion is expected to begin running next year with TV tapings in the Nashville, Tennessee area, where Aerolux is headquartered. Aerolux had been funding Impact tapings in exchange for a percentage of the ownership, which we already know when we talked about that. We don't ever want to bring it up.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right. As it turned out, Anthem Media would come... Oh, we already did that. Sheesh. The Twitter account for Aero Lucha promises, and I quote, high-energy lucha libre for the entire authentic family. Authentic stars, characters, and stories. Live events and digital content. Lucha for the fans, by the fans. And then they put out a press release. I'm not going to read the press release.
No, don't.
I'm not. It just talks about Conan's career. But I do want to read this one quote, if you don't mind. It is from Jason Brown, who is the CEO of Aero Lucha Inc. When talking about Conan, he said, and I quote, "When you're creating an authentic Lucha Libre product in the United States, I'm not sure if there is any other person you want at the core of your company than Conan. He brings an authenticity and a knowledge base to the project that is unmatched." And there is a website. It's not much, but I'll tell you guys anyway. It is aerolucha.com, AROlucha.com, and you can sign up for newsletters and stuff on upcoming events.
No.
Fro.
I have absolutely no belief in this whatsoever.
Fro has no care in the world.
Nope.
I
would rather watch Bound for Glory 2007.
Oh.
Oh.
James Ellsworth got released from WWE earlier this week.
What a shock! I'm so surprised. Said nobody.
Yeah, it was gonna happen.
Everybody knew it was going to happen. Sometimes it's just a little sad that it was now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to miss him.
He, in a weird way, James Ellsworth is going to have a special place in the hearts of the fans for maybe forever.
Oh yeah.
Because if you remember, he was Braun Strowman's first opponent when Braun started the singles push a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And then he gave one of the best lines in the history of wrestling, if you think about it now. And it sort of is a good line for life, where, he said, any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a good line for life itself.
It is. It's really good.
So, because of, I guess, a combination of the promo and how he came off on that match, he ends up staying with WWE for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up at the end of last year getting a shot at the WWE Championship.
Yeah. One of the most funny. I am going to miss the funniness of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things I will not miss with him, like him being in chains after Carmella was a stupid gimmick. But are you? And I'm going to ask this question: are you now a little more worried about her push?
I am.
I am too.
Because I thought what I had in my mind.
I totally agree with you.
What I had in my mind was she was going to cash it in at some point. I don't know when. She just was going to cash it in. She was going to win. Then she was going to have this big celebration on the next SmackDown. And Ellsworth is there, and she gets this speech, and she's like, I want to thank the only person who ever believed in me to be Miss Money in the Bank and to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Me! And then James gives this look of wait a minute, I helped you get the briefcase. And then she's like, no, honey, it ain't about you. It's about me, Carmella. And then she would have kicked him to the curb, and then where they would have gone with him.
And that's the only thing that I think I'm a little worried with Carmella. What she's going to do now is this we haven't seen her. She's not in Survivor Series, is she?
No, she's in the Survivor Series.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's in the elimination match.
Oh, she's in the elimination match.
Right.
Still, not sure.
So, but that's a very good question. I never thought about it. Because I was just like, well, Ellsworth is gone. He had a great run. Sorry about that. We'll see what happens with him. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I think at this point now, she won't cash it in at the end of the year. I think it's going to happen sometime next year. Unless we're proven wrong. We could be proven wrong, Fro.
Yeah.
And we have been proven wrong before. If any promoter, Lawrence, I'm talking to you, would like to book James Ellsworth, he will start taking bookings on February the 12th, and you can email him at, and you might want to write this down, everybody, bookellsworth@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty simple email address, folks. Pretty simple, I think. If it's not, then... Well, you know, we are talking about the Survivor Series, and we're getting ready for it this coming Sunday. Well, WWE, you know, never to be the ones to look to next year, they have announced today the location of next year's Survivor Series.
Jesus.
So, folks, you might want to write the date down for next year's Survivor Series. It will be Sunday night, November the 18th, and it will be held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So Los Angeles not only will get the Survivor Series next year, they will also get NXT Takeover, and they will get the Raw and SmackDown after the Survivor Series next year. Ticket information and travel packages will be announced in early 2018.
Cool.
So, yeah. Be ready for that one. Be ready for that Survivor Series. Here's a little bit of interesting news to talk about because we got to fill time. You know how we've had over the years second generation and third generation wrestlers in the business. Are you prepared for a fourth generation wrestler?
Okay.
In an interview by The Hollywood Reporter, Dwayne Johnson's daughter, Simone Garcia Johnson, who is 16 right now, and she has been named the Globe's ambassador for the upcoming Golden Globes Award this January, has said that one of her interests is potentially entering professional wrestling. On pro wrestling, she said, and I quote, "It's a sport that is unlike anything else in the world. There's just a certain amount of passion that every move and match requires, and that's so admirable. It's definitely something I've thought about and want to pursue." So, if she is to do this, let's go down the lineage real quick. Her great-grandfather is the High Chief Peter Maivia.
Right.
Her grandfather is Rocky Johnson. And we already know about her dad, so I don't have to tell you who her dad is. Johnson noted in the interview as well that she intends to pursue a business degree in college and then pursue a professional wrestling career. And let me give Simone a round of applause because that girl is thinking smart. Go to college, get your education, get your degree, then become a professional wrestler. There you go. Rock raised his kid right. Oh, boy. We do have another card that we should talk about, and that is Starrcade. because
Yes.
that's coming
Finally.
up next Saturday, and no one's going to see it on the WWE Network.
Nope.
Unless you are in the arena that night, you won't see Starrcade.
And it's stupid.
Oh, I just don't get that one. I don't.
Stupid.
We have the updated card in front of me. After everything that happened.
I don't want to see this.
I know! It's Starrcade! But we do have an updated card after the events of this past Tuesday. So let's go through the card. All 4 championships that SmackDown has will be defended on this show. So we're still going to have the double main event being inside the steel cage. Charlotte will face Natalya. That's going to happen. No matter what. AJ Styles, now the new WWE champion, replaces Shinsuke Nakamura, and Styles defends the WWE title against Jinder Mahal inside the cage. The tag team titles are going to be now defended in a fatal 4-way. The Usos will defend against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, The New Day, and the team of Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Shinsuke Nakamura now will challenge Baron Corbin for the United States Championship. Dolph Ziggler will face Bobby Roode, and Dash Wilder of the Revival will be facing Dustin Rhodes. Not Goldust. Dustin Rhodes.
I so want to see this.
I know.
Why? WWE, listen to us. Show us.
If anybody out there listening to this can find a way to somehow illegally show this,
I would love to see this.
Please do it.
Yeah.
Do it for us. Do it for those that love wrestling. Do it for us. Oh, man. I don't get it, bro. I mean, this was such a huge... When they first announced this was such a huge deal. You know, because there hadn't been a Starrcade in 16, 17 years. They're bringing it back. And you know what I think they could do? And I hope they do this. Maybe this is as a backup. Mm-hmm. They could record it and put it out on a later date. I know that's not the best thing, but that's the only thing I could think of. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh, one more thing, and then we're going to get to our other drawing. There is this weekend, for those of you who have kids, and for those of you who have any of the Disney channels, either streaming or on your cable or satellite, whatever. This weekend on Disney XD, the superstars, that is a real channel, the superstars of WWE will appear on Walk the Prank.
Walk the Prank?
Yes, that is a real show. Think of it as the kids' version of Punk'd. And let me tell you the lineup of WWE stars that are going to be on this special edition. Are you ready?
Okay.
You might want to hold on to your seats, folks, because this is incredible. You've got Kofi Kingston.
Okay.
You have Big E.
Mm-hmm.
You have Alexa Bliss. You have Diamond Dallas Page. And Sting.
Wow.
And that's it. Those 5.
Sting.
The kids are going to look... I bet not half of those kids on that show know who Sting is. They're just going to see a guy in pain and be like, ooh, that's a good Halloween costume. I'm Sting. Sure you are. So yeah, if you have Disney 8 or Disney XD, you can check it out. It's going to premiere this coming weekend on Sting. On Walk the Prank.
I thought Sting was retired. I was almost going to say retarded, but I was like, no, not retarded, retired.
I don't ever like to make these kind of comments, but he might be for doing this show, but that's another story. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, folks. I don't ever like to do
retarded
that.
and retarded.
I don't ever like to make those kind of comments.
Okay, let's do our second drawing.
Yes, this is the big drawing. This is the biggie, the big one for this time around. Fro is going to put out his own money for the Patreon page. And Fro, could you quickly break down the payments that you have given the options?
Contact me if you win.
There you go.
And I will tell you.
So as I mentioned earlier, the tub was shaken up earlier. If you did not hear who did it, too bad. It's your fault. So I'm going to pull a name out. And we do have a name. So the winner of Fro's Patreon contest. You ready, Fro?
Yeah.
Joe Sego!
Really?
Yes! Because he had 3 entries in our drawing. And that's why we say you guys can answer as many times as you want, because you never know if you're going to win more than once. Yep. And we just had the perfect example. Joe is going to get both prizes this time around. So, Joe, contact Fro at a later date to discuss what plan you're going to be doing it in my day. Or not in my day, but, you know.
Fix it.
So...
do it now.
Yes, do it now. So, congratulations to Joe for winning both the prizes, shockingly, and to everyone who had an entry in our contest. I guess, you know what? Since we're live and since we're doing this, I will ask you, do you want to skip the Royal Rumble and go straight for WrestleMania, or do you want to do the Rumble?
No, we are going straight for the WrestleMania, and we are going to have the biggest pool ever of prizes.
Wow. So we'll probably start that the beginning of next year. Or maybe
maybe in December.
Maybe
December.
And then we'll come up with the prizes for this one. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right. We're now going to break down the 2 big shows that are taking.
Big shows. I am so looking forward to one of them. And it's not the one on Sunday.
Yeah, I figured. It is going, and that's what we're going to start with, is the one on Saturday. And it is NXT Takeover WarGames.
I'm so excited.
This is going to be unbelievable. So
I can't wait for this.
This is how we're going to do it. We're going to do, in order, the non-title matches.
Yeah.
Then the title matches. And we will end with the War Games. Because there are rules for this version of the War Games. So.
Yeah. And I still don't understand them. So.
All right. So let's start with our 2 non-championship matches. And the first one is Cassius Ohno against Lars Sullivan.
Yeah. Lars Remember him?
No. I wish I did.
Who's Lars? This happens when none of us is watching NXT, right?
Well, let me pull up his bio.
Is it you in NXT?
No. He is 6'3", 303 pounds from Denver, Colorado. His finishing...
With a name like Lars, he should be Norwegian.
With his finishing move being called Freak Accident.
Oh.
Uh...
Well, you go first, I guess.
You know, they've been pushing him lately, Lars.
Okay.
So, I'm going to go Lars on this one.
Okay, I'm going the other way then, since I don't care about this match.
Alright, so you're going to go with Cassius on this one.
Yeah, Cassius, no, I like him.
As I take a look at pictures of Peyton Royce. Sorry, I got carried away.
Man.
I know, and you know, who can resist this look? No. The other match, the other non-title match that we're going to talk about, Aleister Black against Velveteen Dream.
Oh, such a good name.
This is going to be very entertaining.
I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm not joking. But Velveteen, I'm going with Velveteen.
Really? You're going with Velveteen on this one?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go on the opposite side on this one. I'm going to go Aleister Black. It's going to be a good match.
Oh, this is going to be a tremendously good match.
Probably one of the more entertaining matches we're going to get this weekend.
Yeah.
But Aleister Black's another guy they've been pushing real hard.
They are hot on him.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Nope.
Aleister Black's the total package. He is. I can't. I would be shocked if he loses that match. I would.
We will see.
Then we go to the first of two title matches. It is the Fatal 4-Way to fill the vacancy of the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, Asuka vacated the title after moving up to Raw after 500 plus days as the champ. So we're going to be guaranteed a new champion in this match. Kairi Sane, the winner of the Mae Young Classic, Peyton Royce, Ember Moon, and Nikki Cross are the competitors in this match.
I have absolutely no idea who's winning this match, and I'm so fucking happy about it. This is my match of the night. I am so extremely looking forward to this match. There's nobody bad.
No, there's nobody bad in this match. Whoever wins this, I will be fine with.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I really don't know. But Ember Moon?
Never know. Because I am the host, I have to make a guess on this. I'm going to say Kairi Sane.
I'm going with Ember Moon, just to go with something.
Although, like I said, any one of these four women...
Yeah, I would be happy.
Oh, God,
Anyway,
I would be happy.
Yeah.
So, and then our other championship match... Drew McIntyre will defend the NXT Championship against Andrade Cien Almas.
Oh, I really hope he loses. But he isn't.
No, he's not.
I'm going with the champion.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Andrade. You've improved a lot lately, but there's no way you're beating Drew for the title. Not a chance.
No.
I would bet, if I had kids, I would bet their entire college education on this match that Drew would win. But I don't have kids, so. And then we go to the main event, the match that everybody has been talking about since it was announced. For the first time in 19 years, we have the War Games. And we'll talk to teams, and then I will go into the rules of the War Games. The teams that are in the War Games are Sanity, Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf. You have the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. And you have the Authors of Pain, who are teaming up with Roderick Strong. Those are the 3 teams that are involved. So, the rules of the War Games, because Fro is confused, and to be honest, they did change it up a little bit from previous War Games. So, I have them in front of me, so we'll go into what the rules are for the War Games. 1 member from each team is going to start the match. That's pretty basic. 1 member from each team is going to start the match. Basically, whoever starts the match is going to be in there for the duration of the War Games. So they will start, and it is a 5-minute period. So it's just going to be for 5 minutes, 3 guys going at each other. After the 5-minute period has finished, I'm going to say it's going to be a random draw, a random selection. 1 team will be complete. And the other 2 members of the team will then go into the War Games. They will have a team advantage for 3 minutes. So basically, and I'm just making up a situation here. Let's say Sanity has all members of their team in first. That means for a 3-minute period, they will have the advantage on the other 2 teams. After that period has ended, a second team will then be released, the remaining members, evening it up for their team a little bit. And then the last 3-minute period will take place, and the last team will have its members come in. Then, once all 9 are in, that's when the match beyond begins. Because the only way to win the War Games is by pinfall or submission.
Yeah, I hope you followed those rules, because I was following those rules, and I have no fucking way that I know how this match is still going, because I am stupid.
Well, what's great about this is it's going to be in 2 rings. So there's going to be action all over the place. There have been rumors that there's not going to be a roof to the cage for the War Games, which I would be a little disappointed in, but it's the 21st century. I could live with it.
I'm just looking forward to seeing this. That's everything I can say. I'm just looking forward to seeing this. I have no fucking clue how it's going to go, and that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I think the one thing I'm looking forward to the most out of this is how they designed the cage for the War Games. Because, it's 2 rings hovering, it's surrounding the rings. You don't know what the cage is going to look like. WWE's never done a War Games before. This is the one that, since WWE bought WCW out, this is the one match everybody has waited them to do. Everybody.
Yeah. And it's super risky, and I will give them huge compliments that I actually dare to fucking do this.
I mean, I mean, it is a PG era, but folks, I'm going to be honest with you. The War Games is not for the weak at heart.
No.
I mean, I watched the other day on the network the 91 War Games, which I recommend.
Mm.
That's in my top 3 War Games of all time. And watch the end of that match, because Brian Pillman, God bless his soul, he gets knocked out in that match. And it just is so ugly looking. I mean, bless his heart for doing, but still, it's going to be fun to watch. Oh, I cannot wait. So you are not, I guess I'll make a pick. There's only one result that I can see happening. And that's Undisputed Era winning this.
Yes, I totally agree with.
I cannot see any other possible ending except Undisputed Era winning the War Games. If another team wins it, I'll be very surprised. But I just think Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are going to win this one.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I will be very surprised if that does not happen this Saturday night.
Nope, I totally agree with you.
And so would Peyton Royce.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at her pictures right now, so...
Jesus.
She's attractive. Holy crap.
Not as attractive as my girlfriend, Bill.
Well, I gotta look at a picture of her so I can agree or disagree. So before I dig myself into a deeper hole, we are now going to discuss this Sunday's Survivor Series. And we're going to go through the card real quick. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the Survivor Series card. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. And then we'll get into each of the matches, because these matches are just... there's no way to really rank them. So, it is in Houston, Texas, like I mentioned in the beginning. Special start time. Remember that, 7 p.m. So we are going to get...
2-hour pre-show.
Yes, we are going to get a 2-hour pre-show, which means I am going to have to do my Sunday chores very quickly. Like, as soon as the Redskins game is over, I'm going to have to do...
You're going to see this with me, right? This Sunday?
You know what? I might.
Yeah, come on.
I very well might. It's a 4-hour show. What the hell do I got to lose? Plus, I only go in for 2 days next week anyway, so...
See it with me.
Yeah, why not? We haven't done a major pay-per-view yet. Yeah. Let's go for it. I'll join you Sunday for Survivor Series.
And Saturday for NXT.
We'll see about that. If I'm not tired.
Okay.
I'll give you at least Sunday. All right. So with that being said, here is the official lineup for this Sunday's Survivor Series. We have a champion versus champion match. We got a lot of these coming up Sunday. Brock Lesnar will face AJ Styles. We also have the tag champions facing each other. Cesaro and Sheamus will face the Usos. Charlotte Flair now replaces Natalya in the women's match, as she is going to take on Alexa Bliss. The Miz will face the United States champion Baron Corbin. Again, not a title match. We also have The Shield going against The New Day. And then we have 2 traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination matches. One for the men, one for the women, which we will break down in full detail in just a little bit. Plus, The kickoff show match, as of right now, there could be more added before this Sunday. Enzo Amore to defend the Cruiserweight title against Kalisto. And that is the official lineup for this Sunday's Survivor Series. So, Fro, we are going to discuss each of the matches, and believe it or not, for the first time in God knows how long, and I'm actually real happy with our Facebook group, a lot of people came out putting their opinion on these matches for this Sunday. So I might read some comments on these matches. So we're going to start with the kickoff match, Enzo Amore defending the Cruiserweight title versus Kalisto.
If Kalisto wins, what will I do next week? I will stream naked from my... No?
Please, no.
No?
We love you, but for the love of God, no.
No, but there's no way Kalisto is winning. There's absolutely no. Please, WWE. Please don't fuck it up even worse than you have. Just leave the Cruiserweight champion alone for 2 seconds. Please.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Enzo has to retain this title right now.
He has to retain.
Especially with the rumor that I have read, and I don't know if you have read this rumor or not, Fro, but there is a possibility Neville's coming back.
I hope he is.
To WWE. We don't know in what capacity, but there's a possibility Neville could be on his way back.
I would not mind that at all.
So the next match that we're going to talk about, and this is the first of the champion versus champion matches, The Miz versus...
The rest is almost all that.
The Miz versus Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I need to have Raw winning over SmackDown all over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with The Miz.
For once, The Miz is coming off in this match like a face. And he's doing it so well.
He is.
And Baron Corbin, we've said this in the past, Baron Corbin is such an easy guy to hate.
Yeah, I hate him.
Because I think what we see on TV is what he is in real life.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, with that, I have to go with The Miz. Absolutely have to. If he does not win, I will be very surprised.
Yeah, I'm going to be super surprised.
Let's do another of the champion matches. Alexa Bliss will face Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair.
Wow, that was real quick and to the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Alexa Bliss, I do. But I need SmackDown to win this.
I thought you wanted Raw to dominate. Oh, you mean this match?
Oh, this match, yeah. No, Raw is going to dominate all
over. If this match had stayed Alexa and Natalya, I would go Alexa.
Yeah.
All the way. But
give it all the way.
But Charlotte just won the title. There's a lot of momentum going for her right now.
Yeah. With her dad.
Yeah.
The 30 for 30 thing.
Yeah, I gotta go Charlotte. I got to. It just makes sense. Our other champion versus champion match, as soon as I can find it, that we're going to talk about for the moment, Cesaro and Sheamus against the Usos.
Okay.
I'll go first this time. This, to me, is pretty simple, and because I'm someone who actually remembers things happening in the past, because WWE doesn't want you to remember, I'm going to take you guys back to last year's Survivor Series, when we had the team elimination match where there were 5 teams on each side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who the last 2 were?
No.
The last 2 were the Usos and Sheamus and Cesaro. And who were the survivors of that match?
Don't remember.
Sheamus and Cesaro. So you know what? The Usos, they haven't said it, but secretly, for a year, they've been waiting to get back at the Cesaro and Sheamus, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The Usos are going to beat Sheamus and Cesaro.
Okay. Yeah, I think so as well.
All right. We're on the
But
same.
I need them to win to have some the SmackDown Raw thing again.
All right. So now we are going to go, actually, there's one more match, and then we'll get into the. No, we're going to do this the right way. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
My order is getting messed up in my head, so because I have voices in my head, they talk to me, they counsel me, they understand. Okay, so we're going to do the women's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Real quick, for those who don't know the rules of the Survivor Series, elimination is pinfall, submission, disqualification, countout, and if necessary, any member getting injured during the match. That has happened in the past. So, Team Raw consists of Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Team SmackDown consists of Becky Lynch, Naomi, Carmella, Tamina, and a mystery partner.
And that mystery partner is going to be Paige.
It would be the only thing that would make sense, but to be different, I'm going to say they put Natalya in that match.
I hope not.
All right, so
if it's Natalya, Raw wins. If it's Paige, it's SmackDown wins.
Ooh, okay. So let me ask you this. Okay, let's play both scenarios for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Natalya, you say Raw wins.
Yes.
Who would be the survivor or survivors of that match?
Asuka.
Okay. If Paige is the 5th member, and you say SmackDown wins, who is the survivor or survivors?
Paige.
Wow, okay.
Paige, yeah.
Even if Paige is the 5th member, which would actually make this match a little bit more interesting than it already is, I'm still going with Raw. And the survivor of this match is going to be Asuka. There's WWE would be stupid to have wasted Asuka's first defeat in a pay-per-view of a 5-on-5 elimination match.
But I think it's going to be that she's been taken out before the match.
Oh, now, if that happens, I'm fine with that. If she's counted out, I'm fine with that. If she's disqualified, I'm fine with that. I just don't want Asuka to be pinned.
No. She's not going to get pinned. Don't worry.
Besides, if she is to have her first loss, I want it to be on a big stage like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. We do have a couple of comments. Brian thinks that all 5 members of Team SmackDown will survive this match.
Mm-hmm. No.
Love you, Brian, but I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
No, Brian.
Ruben said, until last night, because I posted this yesterday, until last night happened, I was looking forward to a Charlotte versus Asuka showdown.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're going to miss out on that one. And Jason thinks the sole survivor will be Mae Young. Oh, those Mae Young jokes.
Oh, she's dead.
She's definitely dead. All right, next match we're going to talk about, and this is going to be an interesting one. The Shield versus the New Day.
The Shield. I need Raw to win this.
It has to be the Shield.
It has to be.
It has to be.
It's the real Shield reunion.
No, so, Fro, it's not the real Shield. It's the original Shield. Oh my.
Yeah, I saw your post about that.
Okay, folks. If you did not watch Raw Monday night, be blessed. Because during Raw, Michael Cole kept shoving down our throats, oh, it's the original Shield. Where were the other members? Oh my God. That's the original Shield. Shut up. That would be like saying the Shield are facing the original New Day. Just
yes. The original New Day.
I have 2 hands, Fro. I'm going to take one hand and I'm going to wrap it around Michael Cole's throat. And I have this other hand and I'm going to wrap it around whoever told Michael Cole to keep saying that during the entire show. Because that was...
Triple H, you mean?
Or Vince or Kevin Dunn or whoever the heck's, whoever. Oh my God, that was so frustrating. Oh. I was about ready to go through a wall, Fro. I really was.
Okay, move on now.
Yeah, let's move on because we got 2 matches that could easily be the main event of the Survivor Series.
Yes.
We're going to start with the traditional 5-on-5 men's elimination match.
Raw.
For Team Raw, it is Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and I only had to type this Samoa, so I apologize, and Triple H. SmackDown is Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena. And you said right off the bat, Raw's gonna win.
Raw must win, yeah.
Who do you have surviving?
I have Triple H and I think it's going to be 2. Triple H and Samoa Joe.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to play Booker on this one. Not Booker T, but an actual Booker. Because I also have Team Raw winning this match. But let me tell you what's going to happen. And I think, Fro, this was even going to happen before Triple H got involved into this match. Kurt Angle is going to be taken out before the match happens.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking as well. And Jason Jordan
is going to come in, and he's going to end up in a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 situation, and he's going to win the match.
I don't mind that at all.
And, remember Monday night when those fans were booing the hell out of Jason Jordan?
Yeah, they will boo him even more.
Imagine if that happens Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of boos.
Wow. And I want to throw an interesting Survivor Series stat at everyone before I read these notes. And this involves John Cena.
Oh, Jesus.
John Cena is in very rare company. How rare? John Cena's teams, every team he's ever been on in the Survivor Series, have never lost. They've never lost. Even when he has been eliminated, his teams have never lost at a Survivor Series.
Well, they will this year.
We have comments on this match. Nathan writes, it comes down to Triple H and Kurt Angle. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn screw over Shane and give Raw the victory. There's that possibility. Gary writes, thinking Kurt and Triple H have a tussle at some point. They have made Kurt look too much like a punk with this stuff with his son.
Yeah.
And Brian thinks that Shane McMahon will be the survivor of the match.
We will see.
We will see. There's no wrong answer, I think, on this one. Although we both think the same result.
Raw, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be.
And then our final match that we're going to talk about is what was originally going to be Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal is now Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. So, Fro, where do you go with this one?
I'm going with Brock Lesnar.
I had made the case when this match, when the original match was first made, that Brock has to lose one match a year. And this was going to be the one.
Yeah, no.
That was until AJ Styles won the WWE title.
Yeah.
Now, there's no way Brock is losing this match.
No.
There's no way. Not a chance. I love AJ, but there's no way he's winning this match.
No.
Let me ask you real quick, Fro. Do you think anyone will propose during this match like they did in the interview? Oh, that was so funny. Real quick.
It was so funny.
During the Brock Lesnar promo Monday night, somebody proposed to their girlfriend, and she said yes. And Paul Heyman notices this, and is like, yeah, good job proposing to her. Too bad she's never going to see a beast like Brock Lesnar again. Oh, that was good. That was good. So that is our look at this Sunday's Survivor Series and Saturday's NXT Takeover. So it's going to be very fun. So let's get into the end of the show because we are done for this week. If you have any questions or comments, send an email, wrestlingman@thatwrestlingshow.com. Don't forget to follow the show on Twitter. It is WrestlingShow11. You can join our Facebook group, type in That Wrestling Show. You are right there. And if for some reason you can't find us, click on the link below and you are right there. Visit the website, thatwrestlingshow.com. Check out my new article that I posted last night on the history of change in the Survivor Series. Visit the Patreon page, patreon.com/Bill's World of Podcasts. And don't forget to check out W2Mnet.com to check out our show and many other shows. And I think that's it for me. Fro, what do you have to plug?
I have nothing to plug other than check out that really good show. It's called Another Digital Citizen. We did 110 shows this week.
And you know they should also check out our South Park show.
They should.
Because we are close to the end of Season 5, which means we're going to be reviewing a movie in the next several weeks. And we're also going to talk about the new episode from this past Wednesday. Give our thoughts on that one. So,
cool.
Next week, We are moving it for one time only to Wednesday because next Thursday is Thanksgiving, and Fro is such a good sport, he wouldn't want me to record on Thanksgiving. And next
He wouldn't.
I would hope not.
Talk for yourself.
We're going to review the Survivor Series. We're going to review Takeover WarGames, and we'll talk about any other news going on in the world of professional wrestling. Hope you all have a good, safe rest of the week. If you are going to Survivor Series, have fun. If you're going to Takeover, have fun. And whenever you are done doing whatever it is that you do, come back here next week for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always, wrestle on!